Hi.
Hello.
Sorry for the delay. We are here. We were stuck on an alternate planet, but luckily Superman came and saved us all and brought us to the show. So today on One Shot, we are discussing the next series in our Superman adventure, which is Lois and Clark. Now, this show came out in the early 90s, I want to say, clearly. And it's very much giving 90s if you take a look back at it. But of course, we're drinking. So if you're watching, leave us a like, check your shot. And we're going to be talking about little Superman, little Lois and Clark. Let's get into it.
Let me get my beverage. Boom.
Christopher.
The executive Christopher.
It's the executive consultant, but what's up? What's up?
What did you think of the episode?
I had to start. That's what
yes,
we want.
You do. We're all about the engagement here. Let's see.
That's fine. Let me engage with someone else. I mean, this is the one I wanted to review the most because this is the Superman I grew up with the most outside the animated series. So, yeah, like I liked it. I know we have this new concept here on UPRE, this division, but I don't have to drink because I loved everything about the series. The series is great. And after, I'll tell you what makes me want to drink during watching the series is the fact that I had to watch Smallville last week before I had to watch this series. That made me want to drink. But besides that, this is good time, all 92 minutes of it.
Well, I'm glad I let you open up first because I have a lot of things to say about this episode because not only did I sit down for what I thought was a 30-minute show that turned out to be
it was an hour-long drama.
Triple that. No, it was like an hour, 30 minutes. I don't know if I got the director's cut or what, but it was very long. So I'm watching it, and a couple things I noticed. Again, very 90s, but also with that Art Deco feel. It was giving 90s, but with like a touch of like, something before that. Did anybody else notice that?
No. Like before that meaning what?
Like something about this, like the
more 80s.
Yeah, something about the
90s
building.
the
buildings. It gave me like Art Deco. Even the taxis. The taxis look like really like old school. Like first opening scene.
I think it felt turn of the decade. Like,
and also the screenplay of it, like the writing of it, felt very theatrical. I didn't really feel like I was watching a show. I felt more like I was watching a play that they kind of converted into a show, if that makes sense. Also, I never noticed that our Superman, when I think of Clark Kent, I think of a white guy, right? He's supposed to be white. This guy looks spicy white. He doesn't look like he's from. Does he not look like the characters?
What does that mean? Like he put spice in his chicken?
He looks spicy white. He doesn't look like, Southern white. He looks like something else. Like
he looks like he might be mixed with something. That is
yes. Thank you. I'm not the only one who saw it. Okay, good job. The special effects.
But he is mixed.
The special effects in this show, hilarious. He was walking up the walls, stumbling.
That's what bugged me. That bugged me because I said, when did he walk up on walls? I'm saying this, how do you understand the flying? I didn't understand it, but carry on. Please carry on. The floor is yours.
It made me feel happy to see how far we've come, honestly, because they tried their best back then.
They did try their best. They definitely did. And another thing I noticed, I was like, okay, he revealed his powers the most out of any Superman I've ever seen ever in life. He was showing everybody, literally, not even ever, all the black folks. If you were a black person in the show, you saw Superman use his powers because it was literally the old black lady by the bus, the homeless man, the dude who fell in the well, but not just him, the black guy who helped him up out of the well. It was like, what is going on? And then he made mention when he was dancing with Lois at Lex Luthor's ball or whatever. He was like, oh yeah, I learned how to dance from this Nigerian princess. I'm like, oh, is he from Krypton or Wakanda?
Well, he does travel all over the world.
I mean, when he went to go get the Chinese food,
that was hilarious.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was hilarious.
He's like, nah, I know a place. You know what I mean? But,
I mean, if you have the powers to go ahead and use it. I mean, at least he's using his powers for good instead of saving scarecrows.
yeah,
But no,
I love this.
Charmaine, luckily he has Lois Lane, so he doesn't really care about your opinion. In the meantime, let's continue on with the show.
But no, the
Damn,
transition
what a
that they
great
used was very much comic book like when they showed him going to China and it was like a map of the world and you see Superman, like a little dot of Superman going to China from Metropolis. Hilarious.
Yeah. Budget.
What did you guys think of this Lex Luthor?
He looks so old. This guy looked like my English teacher, or looked like someone who's my phys ed teacher and had no business judging me on my gym, me being an athlete. I don't know. He just looks so old.
That not personal? That was personal, right?
It was very personal. Yes.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you still hold some residual resentment there. Well, we're talking about Lex Luthor, right? And this guy who plays him as the greatest live action for a television show, Lex Luthor. Like,
you're crazy.
No,
you're crazy.
I'm down here. My name's not God, it's Chris. What I'm telling you is that he played the best live action Lex Luthor on television. He really does. I'm sorry, you did some weird finger thing. I don't know what that was. What
are you kidding? Did you? Okay, you didn't really watch Smallville, so I'll give you that. But
I did watch Smallville. I watched Smallville and I was drunk and I was asleep at the same time. It was amazing.
Okay, well, you were incapacitated. Why you didn't realize the performance was spectacular.
You talking about emo Lex Luthor instead of the real Lex Luthor?
This Lex Luthor from Lois and Clark is giving very much one note. It's giving twiddling his mustache. He had no kind of nuance to him. He was just an evil guy. It's like, what's going on here? At least in Smallville, we have some backstory. They started off as friends. He started off as a victim. He was this little redheaded boy, lost all his hair. You kind of felt for Lex, and you could understand through the progression of the series his descent into like this madness. But this Lex, he's already started off evil. It's like, okay, what the hell? How are we going to?
I felt like in this version of talking about Lex, they already knew he was a piece of crap. So like in Smallville, it took time to get to a certain way. But everyone, because like Lois was trying to get this interview and all this other stuff. I don't know. I couldn't get behind this one. Like I said, he just seemed very old, and I was like, I don't know where this is coming from.
Lex Luthor is not a teenager. That's the problem.
I'm not expecting to be a teenager, but Superman
I don't have superhero, but I don't need you.
You know what's funny? This thing is
early. Because everyone keep talking over me.
This thing is early 90s. This thing is short haircuts. This thing has Hillary Clinton all over it. This thing is.
How did you get political?
No. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to say. At that time, right? What was going on? This was the beginning of girl power, right?
Okay.
Because this girl right here, this show was all about Lois. It was all about Lois. Everybody already knew who Superman was because all of the little tidbits of Superman, it's things about you that you should know already. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily explaining him. It doesn't explain him being found or any of those things. It's all about Lois. Everything is about Lois and how Superman is just after Lois. Like, look, my favorite part was when she was just like, da-da-da, I'm like this and this and this and this and this and this. And then he goes, all right, noted. You like being on top. That shit had me dying. Because this whole thing is all about Lois and her, being this.
Lois was very unbearable in the show.
But that's what this is about. Look, her first name in the title, her name is first. This is like a Lifetime show about Lois. This is a Superman. You know what I mean? Look, throughout the whole show, the guy was the knight in shining armor. You know what I'm saying? Every single time he came in and da-da-da, and then he comes in sweeping with her arms and the thing. Like, yo, this is a panty drop of Superman. And it's a good time. I'm not going to lie. It is a good time. I feel like watching more.
See, I can agree with that. I do think that it was kind of centered around Lois more, but that's probably get like a larger female audience because historically comic books have been angled more towards men. But I like her strongness. I like her being capable and, all of that. Sometimes she was a little unbearable, but, it's episode 1. She had time to flesh out her character.
And I felt like they wanted to make sure they got that out. And there was times where I was like, okay, I get it. You wanted to show that you're an independent woman and you don't need no man. But there was a lot of times where she was just I felt like flat out just a jerk. I think even a part where Clark said, you're not, what did he say? It was like you're just unbearable. I forgot what it was. I felt like
he called her a snob.
A snob. Someone from Smallville called her a snob. They don't do that in Smallville. They're kind. They're very nice. They're Canadian.
And Metropolis, you use that word. Now let me explain something, okay? So Lois has always been like that. That's her comic book character. It was comic book accurate. She's even like that in the 1970s and 80s movies. So I'm not exactly sure we understand the true origins because you all are brainwashed with the Smallville crap. Now, if you watch Lois and Clark, that's more true to how Superman and Lois really is, right? That's where I'm getting at. It's the same thing with Lex Luthor, your English teacher, apparently. It's the same way. And that's what I appreciate about it, is that they were trying very hard to stay as true to character all the way up until that Meteor Man moment where he put his handprint in the bus. But besides that's how it was. And that's what I liked about it. Now, I can't say anything about of course, Smallville looks visually better than Lois and Clark, but in the 90s, they weren't giving as much money, as much budget to television shows like that as they did in the 2000s, where almost everything now kind of looks more movie-ish compared to back then. So, I mean, you just got to take it with a grain of salt and realize the masterpiece that was Lois and Clark.
But here's the thing.
Go
ahead, Chad.
No, I was just going to simply say, it's not the effects that bother me, because, like, I get it. It was the 90s. Like, you're talking to a guy who still appreciates the Power Rangers, and I know how cheesy that is. So it's not the effects.
Go Power Rangers.
That was also in Smallville.
In Smallville, right.
You say little man. Are you talking to Ron? Because I'm not a little man. So you must be talking to Ron.
Look, all I can say is that this show was it had a lot of corny moments. Even the freaking super suit montage. Come on now, guys. Come on.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of humor.
I did appreciate the music choice, because I love that song. I'm playing up for hero. Absolutely. I immediately said, okay, you're trying here, Lois and Superman, or whatever the name is.
Wouldn't it technically be Lois and Clark's song before Shrek, since it came out before Shrek?
Well, that's how I know. But I will say,
fair enough. That's what I thought too.
Also, the Clarks, the mother and the father. Mm-hmm. This was the most loveless marriage I've ever seen between freaking Martha and Jonathan. I swear to God. Martha.
Well, he didn't die. He didn't die when they were teenagers, so she's probably tired of her by now.
Well, apparently he couldn't even hold it in for the camera. It was like, did they like each other?
I love this. So you're saying, pretty much saying that he's just annoyed by her appearance.
Isn't that most married couple after like 15 years?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, well, everybody who's been married more than 15 years, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say something in the comments now. I don't care. That's why. They're small, they're bored. All they do is look at each other all day. All right, so they're bored with each other. They want to see some spice. They want to see some life. They wish Pornhub was around at that time. So you got to give them some credit. You got to give them some credit. You got to give them some slack.
Well, I don't know. It's just something
I love Chris. I love when Chrissy controls the comments, because she went straight to Chrissy is beautiful, but ignored all these other little comments that I see up here. What's going on here?
Because it was directly towards me. I said,
love this Lex John Shea. You also put you also put this comment up, right? So but you skipped this one. That was them also on Smallville Little Man, but we skipped this one. Coming on Saturdays nights, 8 p.m. was a crazy time slot. I was 10 years old. I don't remember that. Okay, you must have been like 80. I don't know. But I couldn't remember that. Anyway, go ahead, see. You were saying something. I'm just looking at these comments.
Hold on, wait. You forgot this one too. 18 years. He said no 18 years.
I see. I do. What did I say? I said somebody's going to say in the comments something about me being wrong because I don't care. I don't give a damn. They don't live in Smallville.
So I don't know. It was just a lot going on in this episode.
All right, go ahead, see. Let me know when you're finished so I can address this comment right here. But go ahead.
There was a lot going on in this episode. We had this whole plot with the spaceships and the Lex Luthor, and he's trying to get into space. And I don't know. After a while, it just seemed like this episode 1 was very long, and it made me think that at the time it must have been an event, because for them to make the premiere episode so long, the marketing and everything leading up towards that would have been spectacular. And I wish I would have seen that, because clearly it was like a must-watch TV. Apparently, if they decided to make it so long and so theatrical for the time, I'll say.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a 2-hour premiere event, and that's why they do that. They do that for a lot of their big shows, and this was Superman, so they definitely it's coming right off the Batman Returns. Mm-hmm. Which was mildly successful. So, I mean, they were trying to capitalize off of a lot of things. So, I mean, I see what you're saying. It did feel long. 92 minutes is definitely a long time. We've seen movies a little bit less than that. I mean, I just watched Creed 2, for every freaking say. That was 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was hoping it was going to be an hour and a half. But here we are. I'm sorry, Vic, you were saying
but
something.
You know what though?
Nightmare.
A lot of things back then like were a big deal. Like when Michael Jackson had a video, like they made it a big deal, and it was a 15-minute video. You know what I mean? So like a lot of things were back then. Like we didn't have that much. Like that's why I look at this and I'm just like, you know what? We really have come pretty far. We really have. We've come really, really far.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Ron and I got it. Go ahead. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you post production. See, all right, but go ahead, Vic. I'm listening.
No, we've come really, really far. You know, as far as the visuals and all of that. Huh?
That's true. That's true. When he kicked, I think he like threw a ball or something in the sky. It was a mess. But you know, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah. So now, like if you watch any of these Marvel shows now, you try to compare that to, you know what I mean? You can't really.
No, I don't.
Night and day.
He's a jerk.
There's a joke going on here, and I'm out of the loop, but that's fine. Now,
Chris is making fun of something that.
No, Ron actually was the one that started this. Don't do that. Don't do
Ron
that.
is devious. You got to watch out for that.
Ron started. I'm just continuing on. So I'll say that.
I'm kind of hurt. I'm kind of hurt by that. I feel like I'm being attacked because I'm like some kind of bad guy or something. What's up?
Bad guy Jack. Now,
bad influence.
So yeah, there was a couple things like you could nitpick at the show all day, but honestly, was it entertaining? Yeah. I'll put it on while I'm folding my clothes, getting some work done. Why not? It gives you that that nostalgic feel. It gives you that. I remember it being on like TNT or something. Was it on TNT originally?
I think it's ABC, right? Okay.
But didn't they show it? Maybe they showed all the reruns on TNT.
I don't know. They did, but that's possible. That's probable.
So I did enjoy watching it. Like it wasn't my Superman, but I'm aware of it. Like I knew that this was a thing. And to watch the first episode was, entertaining. I was entertained. Well, but I forgot to mention the one scene that I thought was the most ridiculous.
I know what you're talking about. You shared it. Go ahead.
The most racist scene I've seen in television in a while was when Lex Luthor is sitting by the fireplace in the living room.
On a bearskin.
Oh no! We don't talk about that's racist.
Very much racist. We got this Middle Eastern man in a turban plotting to kill Lex Luthor with a poisonous snake. That is like, come on now.
But it was all part of the plan.
It was all a little racist.
It's a little racist.
It was 1993.
That was the plan.
But wait, he wasn't trying to kill him.
But that was like, as an audience, after watching as an audience member, it's
the fact that he used that particular ethnic group to unleash the Cobra is what she's saying. And I
oh man, but that was the early 90s.
Full turban up and everything.
Oh my god,
everything was racist back then. Look at the Power Rangers. Like, come on, man, everything was racist back then.
It's not wrong.
Like, come on, man.
But we can call it out today in our 2022 eyes and say this was racist. And the fact that he socked the Cobra with just the glare, and he was looking all crazy.
But that's you have to admit, because you said it earlier. You were like, "Hey, he just looks evil." So even the Cobra says, "You know what? You're not the one to F with," and that's what he did. He didn't want to F with Lex Luthor because he's the best one, man. If that was your bald young guy from last week, he would have bit him already.
No, he is charismatic, and he's like an evil villain for the time. Like you can see him being a modern day evil villain. But this guy, he's just too on the nose with it. And honestly, I always grew up thinking that Lex Luthor was black because of the cartoons. He was black in the cartoons. Am I lying or am I lying?
You are incorrect. He had a tan.
Yeah.
He was definitely black. What white man, had a bald head back in the day like that? None.
The actor who played him was white, and even though ironically his last name was Brown, and he had a tan.
Had a bald head.
He was definitely black. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I remember in the Super Friend cartoons, because that's kind of what my base with Lex Luthor. He was always white. He was just a bald white man.
In the cartoon, he was a big black man.
She's talking about Superman, the animated series, which came on in the 90s. Bad Guy Jack, however, is talking about Super Friends, which came on in the early 1980s and late 1970s.
It was like 60s, 70s, right.
But
I do know what you're talking about. I get what you're saying now. Right, he did have a tan, but he was white. Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all are crazy. Hold on. He was not black. How was he not black? I wish we had a picture.
He's white.
I wish we had a picture. White man in the 90s had a bald head.
Plenty of them. That's George Carlin.
Literally none.
Kingpin.
Kingpin, no, he was
got a
white,
point.
but no, this guy
He
was
had a point.
brown. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, you asked the question. Well, I
Don't
like
go Steve Austin.
I
Yeah,
like
word.
that.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
Y'all are crazy. I know I'm
Yeah,
not the only one. I know I'm not the only one who thought Lex Luthor was black. If you thought it was black,
Well,
was
you in the
like,
minority. You certainly in the minority on that one. So. Yeah.
No,
Small.
I'm saying
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
see what
yeah.
she's saying, and I can see why she says that.
He's probably Sicilian. You know what I mean? Like you never know. He
oh,
might
black
be
Italian?
Sicilian.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Luther? That's not an Italian last name.
No.
Black Irish.
Black. This is awful.
Kodak Black. That's what it was.
Probably an Arab.
Oh my god.
Arab. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Either whatever the case may be, that's how I was most familiar. Look, you're not going to tell me that is not a black man. Are you kidding me?
I love that his
That's not
tie.
a tan. That
I
is
love
a
that
black
his
man.
tie is white. I love his tie is white.
Are you kidding me? Look at that
Yeah.
black man.
Oh snap! He looks Dominican. That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know I'm not crazy. That was a black man. Now,
Oh man! So what,
and it wasn't until like live action shows that I was like, oh, he's white. I had no idea. But anyway, I enjoyed the show. No shots necessary unless you really, really want to laugh at the bad special effects. Then I would say, yeah, take a shot with it. But no shot necessary. Jack, on you.
I just wanted to drink because I had a little bit there. About this show. So the funny thing is, I don't hate this show, but I still sit here and say, out of all three shows that we did the review of Superman, it's the weakest at the moment. The 90s special effects didn't bother me. Once again, grew up in the 90s. I understand that cheesy special effects. It was not a whole lot. Good job, Stone Cold. And I'm glad Charmaine, who's not a panel here, gave her thumbs down. I didn't hate it. I was watching. I thought it was just too long. That bothered me in the beginning. As soon as I saw it, that's good job. That was good timing. Yeah, you've been working on your timing. Good job. At the beginning, I didn't hate it. I don't need to take a shot. I don't need to take a shot to it. It wasn't bad, but it's the weaker of all three Supermans that we viewed. And also Dean Cain. When I saw Dean Cain, real quick, when I saw Dean Cain, I said I got really excited because I said, because I used to watch Ripley, believe it or not, growing up, and I was like, that's the host. I was so yeah, I was the host. So I was like, that's him. And then Terry Hatcher, because I know her from Desperate Housewives, and now when I see her, she looks like a melted candle.
Don't you say that about that woman. Very disrespectful. She was also in I found this out when we did our review of James Bond. She's a Bond girl.
Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997. One of my favorites. Loved it.
So yeah, give that woman her props and her just due. A wonderful
She's also
actress,
in
very accomplished, iconic.
And she was in
Love
Smallville.
her.
She was in Smallville?
She was in Smallville.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. Look at God.
Was she
Chris.
a melted candle?
Wait, wasn't I feel like Smallville was inspired by this?
What?
Probably because they wanted to get some source material from a good series.
I mean, like, no, I mean,
it
it's just both of them are very feminine. So, like,
CW makes.
I got a feeling. I feel like it was, you know, like, because that show went very, very long. So, like, this show, how long did it go?
4 years, 4 seasons.
Oh, what a coincidence that
87
Smallville lasted
episodes.
so much longer.
Smallville didn't have was on CW where they didn't mind having bad ratings as.
Are you kidding me? CW cancel shows with the quickness.
Yeah,
But okay.
Yeah, they canceled shows that were in the 1 points. If you got to 2 point, they were happy with you. But ABC at
Shots
the time,
or
you
no
would get like
shots
8.
to enjoy this show? Do you need a shot to enjoy it, or can you watch it completely sober?
I think you'll enjoy it better with the shots because the flirts.
Hey.
The flirts are hilarious, though. Like the way that he flirts with her is just great. You know what I mean? He likes. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like those are the type of chicks that are cute. The smart chicks that think they know it all, and then you got to break them down, and then all of a sudden they get vulnerable, and you know what I'm saying? So like that's like that kind of girl. Like it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, right. Like that kind of girl is it's cool. You know what I mean? So Lois being like that. I mean, truth be told, clearly is gonna be a headache for him. But you know, like he's willing to deal with that because he likes her. So like, you know, I mean, in mind you, and that was the programming back then, man. It was very like, you know, bomb, you know, like, girls could do whatever. After, like, not far from that, past that, it was all girl power with the Spice Girls and all of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was
That's what
very,
came after.
this whole thing is very like Captain Marvel type. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ooh, don't do that. Captain Marvel
Oh,
sucks.
right. Oh,
very like
boo.
really pro girl, really pro, like, yay. You know what I mean? It's Lois and Clark. You feel me? It's not. It's good.
But
It's
is
not
it
about
pro
Superman.
girl or is it pro Lois? Because there was another lady in the
No,
show that
no,
they were
because mind you, the
dragging
reason,
from.
because the thing
Cat.
is, the reason I said
Cat.
that, because mind you, they were dragging that chick for being a slut. That's why I said this
Oh
was
Lord.
very. That's why I said this
Was
had
she a
Hillary
slut or
Clinton
was
all
she
over it.
just sexually fluid and embracing
That's
her
how,
I don't
sexuality?
know. At the time,
I think that sounds a certain way.
because
Yeah.
look, at the time they wanted to have all these girls wearing the big pads on the shoulders and
That was
shit,
consensual.
and fucking and being
Ooh.
Korean
She had
woman
no
and all
shame
this
in her
other
game.
shit. You know why? Because previous to that, there was a programming of being a housewife. So then all these chicks didn't want to be a housewife anymore. And now they just pushing the whole narrative of like, oh, you can fucking be smart. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that was the whole thing in that time, in the early
What'd you
90s.
say? Would
That's
you be
why
what kind of
For
smart?
for the record, for the record,
what?
I like that show.
No,
What?
but one
That's what
point
I
is
said?
just that the programming in the early
Yeah, I'm just
90s,
giving my final thoughts because Vic's going to be for a while.
Oh,
So go ahead.
the
final
program.
thoughts, right? Final thoughts. I
Anyway,
think
shots.
everyone wins.
No shots.
So pretty much it was unanimous that it was not a bad show. It was had some, little points here and there that were a little questionable, but overall, I'd watch it again.
It was a
So
little-
yeah, and if you watch us again, you can join us next week for our very next one shot where we will be discussing Superman and Lois, or
Yeah.
Superman and Lois, the new one.
I hate that her name is involved.
So if you again join us next week, Superman and Lois, Wednesday, and also, what do we have coming up tomorrow? There's a show releasing tomorrow, correct, Chris?
Yes, there is. It's tomorrow is Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Which one? 1, 2?
The first one. Vic's
The
pick.
first one. All right. See Will Smith pre-slap.
You should be ashamed of yourself for that comment. Chris Rock is still feeling it.
He was justified. He was protecting his woman. We love that here. I stand Will Smith. But anyway, adios. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.
Wrong one.